After driving around in our Tesla Model Y for over 2 months now, I thought I would give you the top 12 things I love about it. Let's go. One of the first things I'd say that I love is the summon mode. So I can control it from my phone to go in and out of small spaces such as the garage. This is really handy as I get used to the biggest size car compared to the little one that we're used to driving. I know that a lot of people have the issue with electric cars because they don't want to go and wait for it to charge. So we actually got a charger installed in our single car garage. This is an absolute game changer because it means that we can charge the car overnight and take it out the next day if we need to. One thing I will say for the base Model Y range is the range is more than enough for us. We don't tend to do very long road trips and we can easily get to and from Auckland on one charge with driving around as well. So for us it's more than enough, and I think I would probably get range anxiety if I needed to do bigger trips across New Zealand, but I think the range for us is perfect, and it was one of the best ranges of electric cars in New Zealand for the price point. I love the ease of access, so you don't have to have a car key on you all the time. You can just use your phone to access the car, which is cool. So when I get into the car, the seat is already at the distance that I like it. It's logged into my profile, it's got my Spotify, and it also usually would have the aircon and everything on to my liking, but of course I turn the aircon off for this video so that you can hear me clearly. And of course, if Ross was to approach the car, my husband, he would have his phone on him, so it would know that it was him approaching the car to access through the driver's door, and it would adjust the seating for him. So this is awesome if you are sharing the car with another person and you tend to swap between the two. It just saves you the hassle of having to adjust the seat to the right position. Straight this for you. You can go to your profile, and I can swap to Ross's profile. So I'll show you what happens when I swap to Ross's profile. Okay, so I'm hitting Ross's profile and you'll see the chair and the steering wheel move. Whoa. And his Spotify. I mentioned aircon before, and honestly anything would be an upgrade from our last car, but the aircon is really neat in that you can actually set where you want it blowing on your side, but also if you have a passenger, they can choose what degree they want it blowing on them and whereabouts. So it's just quite a neat kind of setup, and of course you've got heated seats if you need it as well. The customization of this is just pretty cool, like up, down, and it all comes out through here. The sound system in this car is absolutely amazing, and I love that it's connected to data. So if I want to listen to a podcast on the road, I can just log into anything. I don't need to have pre-downloaded it. And of course, if I want to change the music or change the volume when I'm driving, I can control it here. I can skip, I can go back, I can turn the sound up and down. Love, love, love. This screen just makes it really easy for you to change settings on the car. For example, I actually have it so that when I get home, the mirrors fold up automatically before going into the garage. It just knows that at this location, it needs to fold in the mirrors. So yeah, the touch screen definitely is a big plus for me, and I love the navigation running through the car speakers instead of me using a tiny map on my phone, because our old Suzuki Swift had none of this tech. Okay, let's talk about a huge plus of the Tesla Model Y, and that is sizing and room. There is so much space in this car. Starting with the front trunk, we actually use this quite a bit. Passenger side has lots of room, and honestly so does the back seat, so there's plenty of room to fit 4 or 5 people in here if you want, or car seats or a dog. But let's be honest, our dog goes in the boot. There is so much room in this boot. Not only is there the top layer, but there's also some room underneath. So down here there is room for storage. We currently have the car cover under it, so when we go to the airport we put a car cover on it, and we haven't actually needed all this space yet, but if we wanted to we could take that out, and you've got more room down the side here and here, but we just put our grocery bags there. Closing the boot, super simple. Honestly, there's just so much room in the Tesla Model Y, and that was one of the biggest deciders as to whether or not we would get the Tesla Model 3 or the Y. We wanted to make sure that we had enough room for a dog and possibly another something else little later down the line. There's room for the dog in the boot, and then of course you can put a baby seat in the back, or 2 if you wanted to. There is aircon in the back, but there's also USB-C chargers, so if you are driving someone, if you're an Uber driver or something like that, it can be really handy for people to charge their phones. One thing I love is that I can charge my phone on the go. Okay, now this one is purely aesthetic based, but I absolutely love the white interior. I really wanted white on white. To get a white Tesla, of course, it's just the standard base model. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. But to have a white interior, you do need to pay a little extra, and I just thought it was worth it. I really like it. Personal preference, let me know what you prefer, the black interior or the white interior. Just to give you a bit more of an insight to the white interior, it comes with the white seats, but then also kind of a white dashboard, whereas the black one comes with kind of a fake wooden look on the interior. And something else I think that is also purely aesthetic is the glass roof. I just think it's cool. The white interior with a glass ceiling makes it feel a lot more open and just spacious in the car. There are so many things I love about the Tesla app, but one of them is that I can see the location of the car wherever it is. You might be thinking, why do you want to know where your car is? Don't you already know where your car is? Well, one thing I think it's really handy for is if Ross is driving back from work and I want to know if he's stuck in traffic or where he is, I can check so that I can make sure I have dinner ready when he gets home. This is just kind of handy for me, being someone that likes to plan. And also I have thought it's kind of a little bit stalkerish, so if someone ever buys you a car unexpectedly and it's a Tesla, they're probably checking up on you and wanting to know where you are every moment of the day. Okay, lastly, I absolutely love that when I walk away from the car, it locks itself. It is so handy. That wraps up over 12 things that I love about the Tesla Model Y since having it for about 2 months. Let me know in the comments below if there's something that you particularly love that I missed on this list.